Hello everyone, I'm Amanda. I'm an astrologer and holistic lifestyle enthusiast. My whole gist is living in alignment with one's soul, one's creator, one's body, and just the natural flow and order of things. It's just better. Today's topic is the new moon in Libra. We're sitting out here in the rain. I'm a day late filming because I had a minor crash out, which makes sense with the new moon energy. We'll talk about it. But my goal is to be here and show up for y'all, and that's what I'm gonna do. Despite me being an astrologer, these new moon videos are really the only content that I want to make sure I get out monthly. I find that these are super valuable, and it's something that you can connect to on your own. You can look out at the night sky and see what phase the moon is in and know where you are in the cycle. I'm showing up to empower y'all to align with this natural force. You don't need a video. You can use your God-given faculties and intuition. But maybe by watching this, it'll encourage you to get more into the moon, to make sure that you're connecting to beginnings and ends in your life instead of it all streaming together. The moon can help us break things down into more bite-sized pieces and to see when things get started and when things come to fruition and completion. And it just makes life feel like it makes more sense and like there's a flow and stability to things. So yeah, go moon. Another big reason I want to focus on the moon is they're actually very powerful manifestation tools and portals. She, Luna, is, I guess they as in new moons. These are portals. These are times when the energy is like a void ready to be planted a seed. The void is open, there's nothing in it, and you have the free will and choice to, if you will, impregnate the moment and grow a plant, a baby, a manifestation in your life. I've witnessed the power of the moon not only in my own life, but also in a group that I hosted for over a year where me and the girlies, there was a couple guys who came in too, but mostly the girlies would set intentions every month and see what precipitated, what culminated from our intentions, and some powerful things happened. I know for me, I accidentally got into this because I was told new moons are good for journaling and setting intentions, and I drew a car, just being dreamy, being daydreamy in my journal, and bam, 6 months later, within the time of the cycle, that car showed up in my reality in a really unexpected and perfect way. So all you gotta do is frequently, as often as you can, look out into the night sky and see what the moon looks like. If it's dark, it's a new moon. If it's completely full, it's obviously a full moon. The quarters are really helpful. If you can learn which is the first quarter and the last quarter, you can see the transformation of the moon and where you're at in the 29 days. And that's it. That's it. Full moons is when things pop, and new moons is when seeds get planted. But we'll get more into the details of this new moon and how you can more specifically align with the Libra energy as well as the full chart of the sky right now. So let's go. Let's go, girls and boys and whatever else you are. And just so y'all know what's really going on, here's a fit check. It's a Libra New Moon. Yes, I'm wearing a dolphin necklace. Yes, this is what I wore to the dog park. And then put makeup on for this video. Yes, yes, queen. Sorry if that was egregious. I'm a Leo. That's my excuse for everything. Okay, now we're going to talk about this new moon, and the energy of this new moon is within a few days of the actual lunation. So don't worry that this video is a little bit late and you might be watching it a little bit after the new moon. You can still set intentions, you can still benefit from listening to this. You can think of each new moon like an everything shower. You are ready to go. Everything is in the past now and you can move forward. This is a new timeline. New moons are portals to a different future reality. So this can be used as a manifestation tool and a checkpoint. The timelines of the new moon go 2 weeks from the new moon to the full moon, and then also 6 months from the new moon to the full moon of that sign. So this is a new moon in Libra. The full moon in Libra will be 6 months from now. Again, new moons are when intentions are set. Full moons are when they culminate. Libra represents the lover, the friend, the artist, the scales of justice. It's quite frankly the beauty we can think up and put into words. The rules, the agreements between people. At the time of this new moon, the sun and moon are both in Libra, so that is a predominant energy. This new moon is also ruled by Venus, which is in its own sign right now. It's in Libra, so extra Libra in the sky right now. Libra is also an air sign, and the air elements typically point more towards the mental world, communication, things that are more on the idea plane, less physical and tangible. 2 major themes that almost always come up when there's Libra energy: balance, finding alignment, and other people. Libra, like I said, is the friend, the lover. It's the others in our life. So a lot of times Libra energy brings forth relationship as a subject. The sun is in fall in Libra, so that means that the sun isn't as powerful and grounded in Libra. If you think about it, Libra is the fall equinox. That's when the sun literally starts to dwindle and there's less sunlight as we go into the winter. So solar themes aren't as poppin' right now, and that's okay. Saturn, on the other hand, an opposing force to the sun, is exalted in Libra. So Saturn is more about the rules and boundaries and things that contain us in life. And Saturn loves to be in Libra because Libra is an idealist. Libra is going to create rules and boundaries that benefit each other, that bring harmony, that bring peace. When I think of Saturn's exaltation in Libra, I always think of ballerinas and how much hard work and discipline they have to have in order to become so graceful and so beautiful. A lot of times the beauty in our lives does take effort and work. Libra is the social butterfly, the socialite. They are, as I mentioned, the friend. So Libra season and Libra new moons, for example, are a lot of times going to bring friends, social activities, and at least have that in our periphery. Some broad Libra themes are harmony, fairness, being pleasing, togetherness. Libra wants us all to get along. Libra wants things to be beautiful and flow in our lives. So that is probably how a lot of us are feeling right now and where the focus is. So you could stop here and just know the general energy of this new moon. It is very Libra. This next part is going to be a more in-depth reading of how all the planets are interacting right now on this new moon. what that does is give you a more accurate prediction of what these few days around the new moon are going to be like, and also the themes of this upcoming month, this upcoming 29-day cycle. I cannot believe it's only been a month since the last reading I posted. It feels like it's been 2 months at least. I don't know if anyone else feels that. But I'm excited about this chart today, especially compared to the last charts that I read, the last video I posted. This chart I feel really positive about. There is a little spice, there is a little, there is a caution to this chart as well, but I think overall it's this new moon and this next cycle is really going to be beneficial for us and definitely get things in motion. My last video covered the next 6 months, and the title was Get Comfy in the Uncomfy. This chart for this new moon still applies. I mean, it's not all rainbows and daisies, but it is, I think, just going to flow for us and not going to be a struggle. It might be intense, but I don't think we're going to struggle through this next month. So let's talk about it. It's a new moon in Libra, and one thing that's working in our favor is Venus, the ruler of the sign of Libra and the ruler of the sun and moon. Venus is in her own sign. She's in Libra. So she is strong, she's grounded, she knows how to act in her own realm, in her own house. So there's an underlying strength with this new moon, a groundedness, just you have your sense of direction, you have your sense of, I can act from this place. I've been here before. I feel steady. We also, this new moon, have an interesting thing happening in Scorpio. We have Mercury and Mars forming a conjunction. And this has its own groundedness and power too, because Mars is in its home sign in Scorpio. So there's naturally a strength and knowing how to act with Mars right now. And Mercury is the planet of communication, the mental world, movement, skills, commerce, basically the planet that rules the exchange between humans and the exchange between our mental world and our physical world. These two planets coming together is very powerful, especially because Mars is in its own power. And Mars is the planet of going after what we want, going after our desires. It's the planet of action. It's the planet of war. So Mars and Mercury together is, if it was an Aries, it would be a more explosive energy. It would be like explosive, strong words. And the sign of Scorpio, Scorpio is a lot more strategic. Scorpio holds back when it needs to, in order to be the most powerful and lethal. Scorpio can wait as long as it needs to in order to make something the most effective. This energy is allowing us to think and communicate and take actions in a very strategic, planned, calculated way. So when this conjunction would normally be, I think, more explosive, like people just blowing up and saying things, I think honestly what's going to happen is like more of the energy of you need to stage an intervention with someone and you plan exactly how to do it and you know what to say and you know how to go right for what needs to be done, what needs to be said. So I think what's going to happen closest to the new moon, like around this weekend, going into this week, we're going to be able to express ourselves in a way that really drives things. Maybe it's something we've needed to say for a while, but we know when to say it. We can be more poised, we can be more diplomatic with the Libran energy. This is a time for it for you to say what you need to say. We have a helpful aspect, a trine coming from Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter is in its exaltation in Cancer, so Jupiter's feeling good too. Everyone's in their realms, their places that they know how to act and like to be in action. So whatever fighting words or whatever strong words might come up, it seems, based on this chart, that it will be beneficial. Maybe not immediately, maybe it will be kind of intense immediately, but overall, the journey, it's bringing benefits to us and or to our relationships and the people around us. This Mercury-Mars conjunction, Jupiter and Cancer, and the North Node and Pisces are forming a grand trine. And this is a continuation of my last video talking about the nodes. Basically what just transpired during the eclipses and this journey that we're on since things shifted in September. This grand trine is looking like we're really moving forward. We're really going in the direction of the North Node, which is Pisces, leaning into those lessons we've been learning, growing, expanding. It's looking good. It's looking good. Sometimes lessons can be uncomfortable in the moment, but overall, this is looking like a good growth point for a lot of us. So I can't just talk all positive. I have to balance the scales because it is Libra season. It is a Libra new moon. There's higher expressions of these energies, and then there's also more shadow expressions of how these things can play out. So I've mostly been talking positive, but the Mars-Mercury conjunction, this really strong signature in this new moon chart, could be, I used the word lethal earlier. It could bring about some more intense changes. It could bring about some situations that are toxic or deadly. So be aware of that. And Scorpio has that more negative side. And after the death phase, there is a rebirth that happens too. So if something more intense and deadly happens, there is the possibility of regeneration there as well. That's what Scorpio is all about. So either way, it's going to be powerful. But just keep that in mind. It's not all, what did I say? Rainbows and daisies. It's Mars. Mars is not that friendly. I want to harness this energy and use it intentionally and positively. I'd say any place in your life where you want to be more calculated and strategic and get in action, this is a good time to go to the drawing board, to sit with these ideas, to maybe talk about them out loud, to journal about them. This is the potential for some major forward movement. Also, see what you can cut out. Mars is about cutting things and eliminating them. See what you can cut out and purge from your life in order to start fresh with this new moon, in order to move forward. Be strategic, be intentional. What is it that is taking up your time, your energy, that does not need to be in your life? Maybe have a conversation with that person. Maybe take some action around whatever that is. This is also a good new moon for artists. If you're creating, you're painting, you're making something beautiful, Venus is happy, the new moon is here. You can use this energy for creating beauty, whatever that looks like for you. Last thing, set some intentions around your relationships. Libra is all about that. I hope you guys enjoy this new moon and this next month-long cycle following it. I'll see you in the next new moon video.